Alright, so this is another game I played. Um, yeah, hopefully you guys find it entertaining. This was pretty fun. I played d4 here and I eventually won the game. So let's get into it. d4, d5, bishop f4, and c5. Now c5 is the one line that I don't like playing against because it's kind of annoying. Now, c5 transposes into a lot of different lines, but there's one specific line in this setup with 2c5 that actually kind of just totally equalizes for black and is very unpleasant for me. So I play e3, which is the way for me to try and transpose this line. It's very, very simple. e3 at knight c6, c3, knight f6, and the line has already transposed into another line of London, so I know what I'm doing now. Bishop f5, and I played the wrong move. I played queen b3. Knight gf3 here is actually better, I believe, where I keep the tension, and when he plays queen b6, on his own to try and target my pawn, now I can go here, here, and here, and I'm actually doing quite fine. But either way, I forgot my theory a little bit, and I play queen b3. He goes queen b6, which gets a big fat question mark from the engine, and it immediately actually loses to dc. Queen takes, a to a here, e5 here. I'll show that. dc, queen here, a here. Now some of you might be wondering, why ab? Why not knight b here, knight b3? The reason why is after e5, putting pressure on this pawn, and the reason why you play knight b3, if anyone's confused, is to defend this pawn. And after bishop g3, my opponent has a5 here, and I'll have to probably play like a4 to try and keep my pawn alive. Like it's rough. It's rough. He has I'm just looking at the engine right now. I don't really know what's going on, but my opponent has bishop c2. Yeah, bishop c2 actually makes a lot of sense. He's just gonna win the pawn back. Bishop c2. Anyway, so that's why I take with the pawn. Either way, I go knight gf3, which is wrong because of c4, and I have to capture. And he now has significant pressure on my pawn on a2. So I immediately go for the bishop pair. If I have the bishop pair, I feel like my chances are a bit better. I know my position isn't very good already, but fortunately for me, my opponent goes bishop g4, which is not a very good move. It's an inaccuracy already. Of course, if bishop here just takes, and I'm probably going to win this pawn in the future. So he goes here, which is not a very good move because of h3, and my whole idea, I was thinking here during the game, if he's going to play bishop g4, I will go h3, he goes back, and I will go g4 to open up this for my own bishop. So this is actually what happens, and bishop h5 is a mistake, but it's the human move. The computer wants you to play bishop d7 and just relax, but then like, why would you play bishop g4 in the first place, right? Like, the reason why you play bishop g4 is so then you can come back like this. And I don't know why you do this to just help me improve my position with h3 immediately. But he does this. And now he goes bishop g6, of course, take. And I have the bishop pair, and actually I'm already better here. I'm already like almost winning with bishop g2, of course, very simple. This is the best move. e6, and I now put my plan on trying to play e4. I can do that immediately with the move g5 here, knight h5, and then I go bishop h2, and he can't really stop me from playing e4 here. He can go this, you know, like this, but then I mean, these pawns are never moving again, ever. I'm not gonna en passant here. Taking en passant would just be a big mistake, because he's gonna get his pawns together, and he has no more weaknesses except for these pawns over here. Either way, I should have played g5, but instead I just go castles, and the idea is simply to put a rook on e1 and play this. I can't. He goes bishop e7, which is interesting. I don't really understand, because if I was him, I wouldn't want to castle here. And that's kind of what he was showing to be doing. Now I can't play e4 immediately because, of course, of e4. I guess I can, but e4 takes, and bishop takes. He has rook h3, and I didn't like that. Oh, my computer's having an aneurysm. Let me move my mic over to the other side. Oh gosh. Sorry about that. I had to cut a little bit out because my computer was going to kill itself and did not show any signs of stopping. It's finally quieted down, and we can get back into the game. So yeah, I didn't want to do this because, of course, this loses the h3 pawn. Computer thinks it's fine after just king g2, and then maybe I can go even king g3 here. Oh, either way, that's why I played rook e1. My opponent goes b5, and I play e4, which gets a smaller inaccuracy from the computer. I should, instead of e4 here, sorry about that. The computer wants a3, and the idea is just stop b4 forever, because that's what my opponent's going for. And I know this, I know my opponent's going for b4, and maybe he's going for b3 as well. So I am a little scared of this idea. So instead, I should just be stopping it immediately and make sure that nothing bad is going to happen over there. But instead, I go e4, take, rook takes. Idea, of course, being so that I save my h3 pawn. Rook takes, and he castles. And I don't think this is a good move. I thought you gotta play b4 immediately. I feel like if I was playing here, I would play b4. It might not be the best move, and it's not because of rook e3. But I still think it's a much better try than just castling and losing like all of your advantages of this open file. Because that's what black has right now. I have the advantage in the center, but my opponent has the advantages on both sides of the board with the two open files. And especially on this side of the board. But either way. So it takes castles and rook e1 with the idea to not allow any weird stuff to happen with this a2 pawn because of this x-ray. My opponent goes b4, and I don't even hesitate. I immediately snap at the decision that I think, oh, well, I'm winning a pawn here, because of course, after here, takes, rook here, he can't defend his c4 pawn. Now, what's insane, that all happens during the game, but what's insane, after takes, the best move in this position is to take here. And that's incredible. That's incredible. And if I just keep on capturing, I get an accuracy, and he gets these two connected passed pawns. And I'm actually lost. A couple of strange moves, and I'm almost losing here. Here, rook a2, bishop e4, like, if I don't play bishop e4, I mean, if I do something simple like rook e2, I'm losing. It's -1. It's incredible that all this stuff can happen, but it can, and it's happening. So that didn't happen because my opponent is not the computer, and so I just recaptured, captured rook c1. My whole plan goes to action, and rook d8 is a mistake. c3 is better here to trade on your own terms and get my rook off the back rank. But either way, opponent goes here, takes, bishop back, and I could play the best move of a4, which just seeks to gain some space, and then maybe b4 and later. But I just go for the pawn, so I just take, bishop e3. Very simple. There's some very interesting sound in the back. I don't know if you can hear that. Hopefully not. My opponent goes rook b4. If I play b3, for example, then I would just lose the pawn because he can just take it. So I instead go rook b6, which I think is a very good move. Takes, and the only thing that I'm seeing my opponent do right now is, of course, play bishop f6, and I'd have to lose a pawn. I'd probably I was thinking here during the game of playing a4, which is the best move, and it keeps advantage. But if I had to choose between the pawns in like a like a perfect endgame, I'd probably keep the b pawn. Actually, no, I keep the a pawn. I keep the a pawn because the corner is not the same color as the bishop. Anyway, he plays rook b8, and I just go bishop d4, and my opponent just resigns. I understand, because I mean I got these two connected passed pawns, and he can't do anything about them. But it's interesting that my opponent just gives up here. I mean, I might play on for a couple more moves. You have bishops. It's not just in the bag just yet. I still have to make some moves. But either way, that's how the cookie crumbles. So let's reiterate. So it was a London where I made some mistakes out of the gate, and I missed a very simple chance of DC. My opponent gives me this g4 idea where I can develop my bishop like this, and I gain a very strong advantage. I go for the wrong plan of playing e4 immediately, and then I'm able to find this tactic where I win a pawn. My opponent misses the counter tactic, which is unfindable, of course. I win the pawn, and I make a couple mistakes there, but my opponent eventually crumbles after missing bishop f6 and resigns the game. So I hope you enjoyed. This was pretty quick, like 10, 11 minutes. Yeah, this was a pretty nice game. Anyway, good evening and good night.